them!
Oh my god.
It's now or never, son!
They're over there!
So be it.
Wait!
You're nicked.
The other one's through that door! Gotcha!
Hey everyone, this is Dorrani from VG247, and video games can take you anywhere. Mystical lands far away, dungeons that start at the gates of hell, dystopian paths, and post-apocalyptic futures. There is no limits to where our next adventure will be with video games, but there's one place that I'll never get bored of visiting, even though it's a place that I call home: London. Last Stop is a story-driven supernatural adventure game that takes place in present-day London, developed by Variable State in partnership with Annapurna Interactive. In Last Stop, you play 3 different stories through the eyes of your everyday Londoner. 3 stories in one. You've got John Smith, a man who's trying his best to be a good father, but more problems keep piling on to his already miserable life.
The last one downstairs is a rotten turnip.
I don't want to be a turnip, rotten or otherwise.
Mina Hughes is career-driven, and from the outside her life looks amazing, but behind the scenes it's scandal and disarray. And Donna Adeleke, a caring yet rebellious schoolgirl who's trying her best to keep her friendship group together. For the story to progress, you must play all 3 characters' chapters before you unlock the next section. So, for example, you can't play all of John's story in one go because it wouldn't make sense if you haven't seen Donna or Mina's involvement. And there are a load of surprises. I think the way the game is stylized led me to believe that it was going to be mainly for a younger audience, but the story touches on themes that are quite mature and need a lot of emotional comprehension to really understand. Each chapter takes around 20 to 30 minutes to complete, which is perfect for the style of game Last Stop is. And I can see a lot of people chilling and taking it easy with a chapter a night, but saying that the direction the story goes might hook you into a total binge session and properly scratch that Telltale Games itch you might have.
Leg it!
The story starts off pretty simple, but once you see the layers and connections starting to be made, ooh, it gets juicy. In each chapter, your interactions are limited to actions that move the story forward. You know, walk from point A to point B. I'm not sure how they do it, but you always know where to walk. Conversations with dialogue options, and I will say that it warms my heart that they haven't chosen voice actors that all sound like Jason Statham, you know, all right, geezer, yeah, call Jimmy on your dog and bone and let's go down pub for a couple of pints. Like, not everyone in London sounds like that. Well, I hope. Do I sound like that?
Dotted every I, crossed every T. You can check if you want. Liar.
It's just nice that they captured some variety. In some conversations, you won't always have control of the outcome and are a bit more one-sided, so you'll have little quick time events and different mini games to keep your attention on the game. And honestly, that is all you do, which isn't a bad thing. All of the focus is on the story.
I'm just trying to help.
Give me your arm.
The art style is really interesting. It's simple but has a lot of the new visual effects found in more graphically intense games to back it up, like depth of field, god rays, film grain, accurate reflections and shadows. It works well. The facial animations are decent and do get emotions across. One thing that I noticed is that the characters that are not essential to the story have no faces and very little detail. My assumption is that they've done this to keep you focused on the people that matter. Good choice. The only thing that really bothered me in Last Stop is the camera transitions when you're moving your character to a different scene. The camera angle changes, so the direction you're steering the character changes. So when a new scene pops up, you often do this weird little walk around in circles thing for a split second because the input direction has changed, even though you're going to the same place. I don't know, that might be nitpicking, but it happens quite frequently. This feels a bit clunky. I hope that gets ironed out. Let's talk about the scenery and environment. I think they were able to capture London well, not just in an obvious recognizable way, like, oh, London Underground, red letterboxes, the police uniform. I'm talking about how they display things like shop fronts, architecture of housing estates and town centers, the city skyline at night. There are so many things and so many smaller details that capture modern London as well. The soundtrack is cozy and emotive. The song's mood and tempo changes from character to character. And one thing that stood out for me in particular is there was a scene when I was playing Donna, the young schoolgirl, and a track from a smaller London artist started playing, and it's an artist that I know well, and either it is a fluke that they added this track or someone in the Variable State dev team knows about the rap game in London, so props to them. It's those small attention to detail things that I really appreciate. I really enjoyed playing Last Stop. Should you play it as well? If you like drama-filled, story-heavy games, then yes, it's easy to play with so many moments that make you gasp and say, oh shit. And honestly, I can't say anything more because it will just spoil the game for you. Play it and see how the different worlds collide and how the supernatural elements play into it as well. Last Stop releases July 22nd on PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, PS5, and Nintendo Switch. See you later, everyone. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed it. It's free and you can always unsubscribe at any time. Take a look at our other videos if you like. Also, check out VG247.com for around-the-clock gaming news and updates.